Welcome to Cool Guy Podcast, the complex human brain.
Today we are jumping into, just this singular organ that makes you, the human brain.
It's a huge topic.
It is. We're going to be looking at its unbelievable power, its shocking cost to run, and maybe the fragility of the self that it creates.
And there's a paradox right at the center of it, isn't there?
There is. This thing, it weighs, about 3 pounds?
Yeah.
But it eats up 20 to 25% of all the calories you consume in a day.
It's an incredibly expensive piece of equipment. For only about 1.5 kilos, you get 100 billion neurons and, 1,000 trillion connections.
1,000 trillion.
It's more complex than any computer we've ever built. And yet the electrical output is tiny. It runs on about 20 watts.
Enough for a really dim light bulb.
A very dim light bulb, exactly.
And with that kind of complexity, you get a lot of misunderstandings. So I think we have to start with the big one, the one everyone's heard.
Oh, the 10% myth.
The 10% myth. Can we just put that one to bed?
You can. It's absolute rubbish. But, it's interesting where the confusion probably comes from. Okay. The brain is roughly 10% neurons. Those are the signaling cells. But the other 90%, that's glial cells. They're the support system, the maintenance crew.
So everything is being used.
Every single part is active all the time, whether you're sleeping, thinking, or just breathing.
Okay, so if it's costing us a quarter of our energy just to run, what makes the human brain so special? What's the return on that huge investment?
It really boils down to density and structure, not total size. A whale brain is bigger.
Right.
But humans have the largest and most densely packed cerebral cortex relative to our brain size. And that thin layer of gray matter is the energy hog.
That's where all the high-level stuff happens.
Conscious thought, planning, language, intelligence. And that created a huge evolutionary problem.
Which was?
How to feed it. Some sources suggest that this incredible caloric need is actually why we evolved to cook our food.
Wait, you're saying we had to invent cooking just to get enough energy to fuel abstract thought?
It's a plausible theory. You're essentially pre-digesting the food outside your body to maximize nutrient absorption.
And that structure, it's not even a fixed thing, is it? That's the whole neuroplasticity idea. The brain it's constantly changing.
It's a verb, not a noun. Your experiences are physically changing its shape. Even something as simple as learning to juggle can create measurable differences in the brain's internal wiring.
So while we talk about lobes, the frontal lobe, for example, being key for our conscience and empathy,
Which it is.
the real story is that it all works together and it's always rebuilding itself.
Exactly.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. If the brain is just a mass of 100 billion cells, how does it create this seamless illusion of a single person?
Me.
That feeling of unity is the key word there.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. It's an internal story. So much of what the brain does happens completely unconsciously. The self isn't really a single unit.
And we can actually see this, can't we, with the split brain patients? A dramatic proof. You surgically sever the corpus callosum. That's the big information highway between the two hemispheres. And you essentially get two separate minds operating in one body.
Wow. And that feeling of agency, of being in control of your actions, that's also surprisingly fragile.
It is. It's a sense that can be manipulated, just like a visual illusion.
How so?
Well, take the TMS experiments, that's transcranial magnetic stimulation. You use a magnet to influence a specific brain region.
Okay.
So when they use TMS to make a subject's finger move right as the person was intending to move it, the person would often say they didn't do it. They didn't feel like they were the author of that action.
So we're actually quite happy to just relinquish control.
It seems that the feeling of being in control is often generated after the brain has already started the action.
So pulling this all together, the brain is this powerful, constantly changing organ that's influenced by, everything.
Everything. Your choices, your social life, your environment, your emotions, every single interaction rewrites a tiny piece of you.
So what's the big takeaway for someone listening right now?
I think it leaves us with this powerful paradox about control and performance. The prefrontal cortex is our decision maker, our inner CEO.
Right.
But to achieve peak performance, if you're a freestyle rapper or a pro athlete, you actually have to deactivate that self-monitoring part of the brain. You have to get out of your own way.
Too much conscious control and you choke.
You choke. Which leaves us with a final question, doesn't it? If you want to be your absolute best, when do you have to consciously decide to let go of control?